to stir up the British Dance Band Days file to see what requests we have. And as you know, I like to start with the earliest record and work forwards. So here's a card from Elise Wilson of Huddersfield, written on the back of a picture of the stars of Last of the Summer Wine. Is this a commercially issued picture, I wonder? Or did you take it yourself, Mrs. Wilson? Anyway, you say that your husband, Bill, is a great fan of Henry Hall's music, and his favourite vocalist is Val Rosing. Henry's first vocalist, in fact, with the BBC Dance Orchestra, which opened Broadcasting House, as Charlie Chilton was talking to John Dunn about. Well, here is Val Rosing with the band in a popular novelty recorded in July 1932. That first-class arranger, Ronnie Monroe, scored this, and it starts with a few bars of Home Sweet Home by way of an introduction to a bungalow, a piccolo, and you.
Underneath your window, every night I stand, pleading for your wonderful caress. Listen at your window, and you'll understand what it takes to bring me happiness. Three little things are all I desire, dear. A bungalow, a piccolo, and you. Three little things set my heart on fire, dear. A bungalow, a piccolo, and you. Life will be complete when my songs I tweet on a love seat built for two. These things are all I ever require, dear. A bungalow, a piccolo, and you. Piccolo, and you.
I wonder who played the piccolo. Possibly the big man in the reed section of Henry Hall's BBC Dance Orchestra there, Burton Gillis. He seemed to be a pretty versatile bloke. Val Rosing it was, with the words to a bungalow, a piccolo, and you. Next one is for Jack Jones, not the famous singer. This one lives in Lostock, Bolton, Lancashire. I don't know why I should say that. Perhaps this Jack Jones is also a famous singer. He certainly asked to hear a famous one. Al Bowley, with Ray Noble in his orchestra, in the Hoagie Carmichael Mitchell Parish Standard, One Morning in May. Is that Freddie Gardner's subtone clarinet in the first chorus? I guess it probably is. Couldn't be anyone else. The date of this recording is April the 5th, 1934.
world. Over was blue, clover and hearts, carefree and gay. One morning in May, oh, the rapture tonight. Darling, I pray to recapture just one hour, just one flower from love's faded bouquet. Kisses that came with a flame of springtime, burning your name in my heart. Precious to me, like a rosary.
One Morning in May, Ray Noble and Al Bowley. Nice recording. And along with Freddie Gardner and all the other star players in that orchestra, there was the little man with the big instrument, Tiny Winters, on bass. Tiny is going into hospital tomorrow to patch up an operation that he had some time back. And I know that we all wish him well and look forward to seeing him again soon at one of our Coda Club get-togethers. In fact, there is a get-together tomorrow when the assembled company will be saying happy birthdays to arranger, conductor, pianist Stanley Black, saxists Aubrey Franks and Harry Conn, and drummer Joe Pawsey. So come along if you can to the regular venue, and that's the Tudor Club, 12 Denman Street, very close to the Piccadilly Theatre. Assembly time is 3 p.m. Now for a request I wasn't able to fit in earlier, unfortunately. It's a song with a special significance for Mr. Reginald MacDonald, who's in Hereford at the moment. Where Were You on the Night of June the 3rd? And the version that Mr. MacDonald would like is the one by Charlie Kunz in the Casani Club Orchestra with vocalist George Barclay, recorded in April 1935, and introduced with a few bars of Charlie's signature tune.
Clap hands, here comes Charlie. Clap hands, good old Charlie. Clap hands, here comes Charlie now. Clap hands, here comes Charlie. Clap hands, good old Charlie. Clap hands, here comes Charlie Kunz.
Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Kunz speaking. The boys and I have great pleasure in playing for you a foxtrot entitled On the Night of June the 3rd.
On the night of June the 3rd? What'd you do on the night of June the 3rd? Did you meet a stranger? Did you take a walk? Was your heart in danger? So you won't talk, and who'd you love while the world was counting sheep? Promise that you'd be a one-man girl for keeps. Just remember I had every word, 'cause we were together on the night of June the 3rd.
Charlie Kunz and the Casani Club Orchestra, and George Barclay. I was very nearly fooled by the request from Stanley Archer of Hove in Sussex. He asks for Billy Cotton's band playing day in, day out. And then he gave me a Rex record number in the 10,000 area and a date of 38-39. And indeed, Bill Cotton did record Day In, Day Out in November 1939 on Rex 9696, near enough 10,000. But not with Oh They're Tough, Mighty Tough in the West on the Other Side. No, that was another tune called Day In, Day Out, a little earlier. This one recorded in September 1937. There's no copyright on titles, you see. And it's a pleasant foxtrot, and once again shows how good Billy Cotton's band was, straight, not doing the funnies. Alan Breeze is the vocalist.
Moment I think of you. You're everywhere and in everything I do. Day in, day out, with me in my troubles too. There by my side, you're painting my gray skies blue. Every hour you seem to be near to me. When I need your help and your sympathy, day in, day out, I pray when life's journey's through, I will be there, awaiting a call with you.
Billy Cotton and his band, and Alan Breeze in a different Day In, Day Out, not the Johnny Mercer one. Clifford and Joyce Freeman of Carpenter's Park, Watford, celebrate their golden wedding anniversary next Saturday. That's June the 20th. I wish I had a copy of that Savoy Hotel Orpheans record that you mentioned, Mr. Freeman. I certainly don't. Maybe we can do a deal sometime and we can meet and I can borrow it. Meanwhile, here's Joyce's choice. Roy Fox and Denny Dennis in October 1937 with The Folks Who Live on the Hill. And happy anniversary to you.
Someday we'll build a home on a hilltop high, you and I, shiny and new, a cottage that two can fill. And we'll be pleased to be called the folks who live on the hill. Someday we may be adding a thing or two, a wing or two. We will make changes as any family will, but we will always be called the folks who live on the hill. Our veranda will command a view of meadows green, the sort of view that seems to want to be seen. And when the kids grow up and leave us, we'll sit and look at that same old view, just we two, Darby and Joan, who used to be Jack and Jill. The folks who like to be called what they have always been called, the folks who live on the hill.
The lovely Jerome Kern, Oscar Hammerstein ballad, The Folks Who Live on the Hill, Roy Fox and Denny Dennis. On a card from G. Horrocks of Wednesbury in the West Midlands, he names three orchestras that he'd like to hear: Sidney Kite, Herman Daruski, and von Straten and his music. Well, in the case of Leon van Straten, if you're hoping to hear any of his early 20s records, I'm afraid I don't have any that I can find at the moment anyway. They were cut on Edison Bell and particularly duophonic, and I haven't seen any of them. They all date from 1926-27. And then there's a long break, and two sides were cut in July 1939 when the band was at Quaglino's. Here's one of those sides, The Lady's in Love with You, and the vocalist is Julie Dawn. and then his music with Julie Dawn in 1939. Finally, in these Dance Band Days records, two more special requests. Mr. P.M. Old writes from Sunderland, asking for a record for his mother, whose birthday it is today. Many happy returns, Mum. Some might query this choice as relevant to a Dance Band Days program. Okay, it's a ballad, and it is somewhat in tempo, and it's sung by one of the most popular voices of the later 40s, Steve Conway, who died at the so young age of 31. Accompanied by Peter Yorke, he sings, I Never Loved Anyone.
I never loved anyone, anytime, any place, with anything like the love I feel for you. I never saw anyone more than once, maybe twice, but I had no ties until my eyes saw you. I may have kissed one or two, three or four, maybe more, but after all, I didn't fall, and who they were, I can't recall, for I never loved anyone, anytime, any place, with anything like the love I feel for you. I may have kissed one or two, three or four, maybe more, but after all, I didn't fall, and who they were, I can't recall. I never loved anyone, anytime, any place, with anything like the love I feel for you. For everything that I love, I find in you.
I Never Loved Anyone. The much-loved voice of Steve Conway. What a great singer he was. There with the Peter Yorke Orchestra, and that was surely Freddie Gardner again on clarinet there. Last one is a request from Bob Frankish of Kingston upon Hull for a record for his wife Betty's birthday on Wednesday next. That's June the 17th. And a very happy birthday to you too, Betty. It comes with this Edmundo Ros samba, recorded, I think, in the spring of 1949, Copacabana. tune called Copacabana. And not a vocal peep out of the maestro on that one, just the Edmundo Ros Rumba band actually sambering away there on that tune. The band, incidentally, was at the Bagatelle at that time. Well, those are the Dance Band Days requests and records that I have for you this Monday evening. More, of course, next week. And after the news here on BBC Radio 2 FM, some vintage big band sounds that are now on CD. So join me for those in a couple of minutes.
BBC Radio 2.
The news at 8 o'clock. This is Patrick Lunt. The Iranian news agency IRNA has reported that the 2 Germans held hostage in Lebanon have been freed. And a report just in from Beirut says that security sources there have confirmed that their kidnappers have released them. Earlier, the group holding the hostages, the 2 remaining Westerners held in Lebanon, said they would release them within 48 hours. The Agriculture Minister, John Gummer, says he's secured a deal which will keep Britain free from rabies. A meeting of European farm ministers has agreed that Britain will be allowed to keep tough anti-rabies laws after the single market comes into effect at the end of this year. Dealers will only be allowed to import dogs and cats without quarantine, provided the animals have passed rigorous health tests. Mr. Gummer suggested the idea of pet passports had been dropped.
Our system of protection, our quarantine system, which stops people taking their pets abroad, bringing them in, and therefore endangering people, will remain. There will be no change unless the Commission can produce something which is at least as sure and safe. That's what I fought for, and that's what has been agreed by all 11 of the other member states as well as the Commission.
The Labour leader Neil Kinnock has withdrawn his candidacy for the presidency of the European Socialists. Mr. Kinnock was favourite for the job, but party leaders meeting in the Portuguese capital Lisbon failed to reach an agreement today. Doubts were raised about Mr. Kinnock's suitability because of Labour's position over the Maastricht Treaty. A new survey has suggested that many elderly people are fitter than men and women in their 20s and 30s. The Health Education Authority says most people in Britain aren't taking enough exercise to stay healthy, and if they don't start exercising more frequently, the majority of the adult population will be overweight by the year 2000. Scotland have been knocked out of the European Football Championship in Sweden. They were beaten 2-0 by the world champions, Germany. Our next news on Radio 2 at 9 o'clock.
Radio 2.
Hello again from me, Alan Dell. This is where we turn our attention to big band sounds. Last Monday, we were concentrating among the selections on the stereo sounds of a brand new Ray Anthony CD, also some tracks of Cy Zentner. But this evening, we're going to look backwards to some mono air checks, first from Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra at the Casino Gardens in California. Tommy bought the venue, and from May 1946 for the rest of that year, appeared many times there. Occasionally, his brother Jimmy also appeared. This is one of the moments from Tommy in June 1946, and we pick up the broadcast with a bright version of the tune Let Me Love You Tonight, in which you'll hear Ziggy Oman on trumpet, a bar or two of Buddy DeFranco's clarinet, and this driving rhythm section is sparked, I think, by drummer Alvin Stoller.
Now featuring for the first time tonight the voice of Stuart Foster with a song from St. Louis Woman called Come Rain or Come Shine.
Nobody's loved you, come rain or come shine. High as a mountain and deep as a river, come rain or come shine. I guess when you met me, it was just one of those things. Don't ever bet me, 'cause I'm gonna be true if you let me. You're gonna love me like nobody's loved me, come rain or come shine. Happy together, unhappy together, oh, won't it be fine? Days may be cloudy or sunny, we're in or we're out of the money, but I'm with you always. I'm with you, rain or shine.
Dorsey and his orchestra with singer Stuart Foster. He was the vocalist who came in after Frank Sinatra, and he was also had a great voice, and I would have thought that he would have achieved greater fame indeed. Tremendous singer. These Tommy Dorsey air checks from the Casino Gardens, Ocean Park, California, come from the library of archivist Ed Burke. Those two items are from a broadcast of June the 1st, 1946. There are also items from a show that the band did in the afternoons called Play Shop. If we have space, I'll play a track. If not, well, there's always another time. The CD is on the Jazz Hour label. It's titled Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra live in hi-fi at Casino Gardens, and the number is JH1018. Jazz Hour, JH1018. On JH1017, there's Jerry Gray's orchestra at the Hollywood Palladium during a stint of several weeks in August and September 1950. Unfortunately, the air shots in this case are subject to overload distortion on the recording, but I hope you'll forgive that in in order to hear a band, I don't think there are too many recordings of generally available at this time. The broadcast begins with Jerry Gray's attractive theme tune, Desert Serenade.
Jerry Gray and his band of today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and greetings from the Hollywood Palladium on Sunset Boulevard, just a few short steps from Columbia Square in the film capital of the world, Hollywood, California, where the Columbia Broadcasting System sends your way the music of Jerry Gray and his band of today. 30 minutes of your dancing pleasure from the city on the Pacific Coast, Hollywood, California. Hope you enjoy it. Dance with us. We have a wonderful crowd out here at the Hollywood Palladium waiting to dance just as you are to This Can't Be Love. Rodgers and Hart wrote a great tune which Tommy Trainer is going to sing for you now. Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered.
I'm wild again, beguiled again, a simpering, whimpering child.